Okay, so far I have been um, this final table for about 10, 15 minutes. I came in here with about 20,000 chips and quickly knocked out one guy and flopped a pair and a flush draw against Danny Boyd to my left, and luckily caught another club on the river. He also had a flush, but it was a lower flush, and I won a big pot because of that. So now this is where I'm at. I'm gonna go ahead and stay aggressive here. This has been my standard raise, 2.5, the big blind. I've been doing this quite a bit. People have respected. I've kept my betting pattern pretty much the same, and I've shown down a lot of good hands, so it's worked really well for me. This is what I've been doing. I did 2.5 the first time. I'll do 3 times the big blind here to continue what I was doing before. And of course, he did not hit the flop. It's funny, but when you have the table image that I do, sometimes you get these big blinds where you get these really crappy hands, and people will fold to you just because they don't want to play any big pots with you. But apparently this guy doesn't mind too much, so obviously I lay down. By the way, this is a 440, 180 man sit and go on PokerStars. As you can see, prize $216 for first place, nothing to sneeze at. I'm a low stakes player, so prizes like this are, entry fees for some people, but for me this is a big win. So go ahead and X out of this. Now this is a weird position for me because I've been very aggressive. I haven't limped once yet, and I'm gonna go ahead and raise this, and I'll explain why after this. Okay, so as of right now, I have control over the hand. If this guy did not hit his ace, the hand is mine. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a feeler bet out there, another 3,000 bet. If he calls, I'm checking out the rest of the way because this guy has a hand that he's pretty much going to call down with because there's an ace high right there. I'm going to go ahead and just check it out with him, because I'm going to assume this guy has a pretty good hand. So even after he shows weakness right there with the check, I'm not willing to throw any more chips into this pot because I think he's a pretty fair hand right here. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. Sometimes I'll advocate a bet there on the river after he checked it on the turn, but I have not seen this guy play, so I don't know what he could have been doing right there. He could have been slow playing, something like ace king or, even ace jack with that jack on the turn. So he limped early. So, we still know how this guy plays pre-flop, so we'll wait. Find a better position and put our chips in. These guys are trying to get in the pots cheap. I'm going to try and prevent them from doing that. I'm going to try and, pre-flop, I'm going to try and build the pot up. I want to try and play big pots with these guys because a lot of them are real passive players from what I've seen so far. No one has shown any aggression whatsoever. I've been the only one. I think most people have recognized my aggression. So I'm going to try and keep that up. But, other than that, just try and play solid poker because I want to try and get my chips in with good money. I don't want to be playing big pots and just shoving my chips around all the time, so... Early in tournaments, I'm a big advocate of small pots. I like to see flops cheap. I don't raise much unless I have a pretty good hand at the lower blind levels. Once it gets to where the antes are up, what I like to do is when I'm coming in with the raise. I'm not going to try and limp in with something like a suited ace or suited connectors or low pocket pair. With those kind of hands, I'm going to either fold or I'm going to raise. I'm not going to just limp. I think it's very important to try and have an aggressive mindset of you want to be the aggressor in each pot. You don't want to be calling raises. If I'm going to be in a hand, for example, if I have something like ace-jack and I have a guy that's going to raise that in the and it's to me to either call or fold or raise, I'm not going to just call with something like ace-jack, ace-10, or king-queen suited or something like that, you know what I mean? I'm going to either re-raise the guy based on how he's been playing, or I'm going to go ahead and just lay it down and wait for my spot because I know I'll gain it back in either blinds that I've stolen or, you know, just winning a coin flip or getting my money in with the best hands, something like that. Also, while I'm talking about blind stealing, something I also like to do, or something I like to see happen, is when I'm on the button or on the cutoff, which is the position right before the button. When I raise, I like to see the big blind call. And actually, who I learned that from was watching TV. Gavin Smith advocated that, where he liked to see the big blind call his raises. And I also have learned to prefer that because a very low percentage of the time is a person going to hit the flop. And I think it's something, I might be wrong on this, I think it's something like 25% of the time if they have any two cards that they're going to hit the flop with any kind of pair. So because of that, like I said, I like to see the big blind call, throw out a continuation bet. That's how I like to play. I like to play big pots later in tournaments. I'm not a small pot kind of guy. I'm gonna do my standard 2.5, the big blind raise. Just kind of keep with what I've been doing.